If you're here, you already know the day after Christmas can be one of the biggest money saving days of the entire year. It's that rare moment when prices crash, stores scramble, and you have a real chance to set yourself up for a calmer, cheaper Christmas next year. And for me, this goes way beyond strategy. Growing up, it was an event. My mom, my Aunt Carol, and I would crawl out of bed before sunrise, bundle up and half asleep just to chase those after Christmas bargains. We'd grab wrapping paper, candy gift packs, anything that we could find. Nobody cared if everything smelled like candy canes or had gingerbread men on it. We just knew it made our dollar stretch a little bit further. And honestly, those mornings and the breakfast after felt like some of the best memories of my childhood. But the real savings hidden in the day after Christmas are actually in the places most people are still looking. Hi, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Sara. I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal, link below. So now, all these years later, I still love the day after Christmas, but for completely different reasons. Back then, we were grabbing bargains because they were cheap. Today, I've learned that the real savings are hiding in places most people walk right past. And when you know what to look for, the next year's Christmas becomes so much easier and so much cheaper. And here's the part almost no one talks about. It only takes a few very specific things to make that happen, and they're probably not the things you think. Now let me show you. The first thing to look for is Christmas packaging. As I touched on just a few minutes ago, this is sewn into the fabric of our holiday traditions. If I've gone through my Christmas stash and I find I need supplies for next year's gifts, I head out the day after Christmas to stock up. Wrapping paper, gift bags, tissue paper, and tags are always on my radar. I have not done this in the last few years because I just don't need anything, but other things to keep an eye out for are simple craft paper, gold, white, or classic patterns that work for birthdays, teacher gifts, next Christmas, and all the events in between. Buying these now means next year I'm not standing in a store on December 22nd paying $7 for a single gift bag because I ran out. Ask me how many times this has happened. Too many to count. Let's look at replacement-only holiday decor. This isn't the day to reinvent your decorating style or chase a trend. This is simply the day to replace the things that wore out, broke, or gave up the will to live sometime during the season. The half-working lights, the garland that shed itself into oblivion, the ornament hooks that stretched out, or the stocking that's frayed at the top. The Christmas tree that's lost all its fake needles has seen some better days. Replace those staples that I absolutely know we're using every single year. Doing this now means I won't have to buy them at full price next November when everything suddenly costs triple. Another thing to always buy after Christmas is a couple of cookie tins or gifting containers for next year. If you bake for neighbors, teacher, or family, you know the container is sometimes the most expensive part of the gift. After Christmas, they're all practically giving them away. Choose simple, classic tins and boxes that don't feel overly themed, so they'll still make sense next December. Tuck them into a bin labeled 2026 gifting, and future you will be thrilled. I also love to find the seasonal zip bags, parchment paper, or plastic wrap. It's the same functionality, but the zip bags might have candy canes or a box of foil might have Santa on it. I don't care. It still works the same and it's half the price. Holiday cards always go into the cart. The prices drop to almost nothing, and these cards are useful all year long. They make perfect thank you notes, gift tags, craft supplies for the grandkids, and sweet little messages to tuck into presents. And of course, if you do send cards each year, buying them now removes one of the most stressful and expensive tasks from next December. If you love sending cards, then stock up now for next year. The prices are too good to pass up. One of my favorite after Christmas finds is the advent calendars to buy specifically to take apart. This is where frugal strategy meets pure fun. Those tea calendars, beauty calendars, chocolate calendars, toy calendars, they get marked down so much it feels dramatic. Buy a couple, bring them home, open them up, and store the individual items in small bins for 2026. These become stocking stuffers, Easter basket fillers, classroom prize box treasures, or tiny treats for the grandkids throughout the year. You're not buying a calendar, you're buying 24 tiny useful gifts for pennies. Now that we've talked about the handful of things I actually buy the day after Christmas, let's shift into the part of this week that makes the biggest difference for next year. This is the frugal Christmas reset I do every single year. It's simple, it's grounding, and it saves future me from repeating the same mistakes or scrambling through the same stressful moments all over again. The first part of my reset is writing down what we actually spent this year. Not from a place of guilt or shame, but from a place of clarity. Sit down with your planner, your bank app, your spreadsheet, or even just a scrap of notebook paper and make a quick list of everything holiday related you purchased. Gifts, food, wrapping supplies, events, travel, all of it. Do this while it's still fresh because you wait until January, the numbers get fuzzier and less helpful. Seeing the total allows you to set a realistic spending plan for next year. One that reflects your real life, not the idealized Christmas Pinterest version. Once I know what we spent, I create a Christmas 2026 sinking fund. This is one of the most powerful frugal habits I have in my arsenal. Even $10 or $20 a week set aside starting in January creates a cushion that makes next year's December so much calmer. There's something incredibly freeing about knowing you've been preparing all year instead of scrambling at the last minute. It's like doing your future self a favor every single week. Open up a savings account specifically for Christmas and transfer a little bit into that savings account every payday. I also make a list of what I call the never again list. These are the things that did not work this year. The gifts that fell flat, the food we made way too much of, the traditions that left me exhausted instead of joyful, the sales I fell for that weren't actually bargains. Writing them down means next December, I'm not blindly repeating habits that didn't serve us. It keeps me accountable and intentional. And because it's not all about the mistakes, I make the "they loved this" list too. This list is honestly fun. It's the things that were a hit this year, the gifts that brought smiles, the recipes everyone ate, the activities that brought joy instead of stress. It's so easy to forget these things by the time next December rolls around, and this list becomes a beautiful reminder of what really matters. Another part of the reset is taking pictures of holiday decor before it gets packed away. Not for Instagram, not to show off, just to help you remember what goes where. It saves so much time next year, and it keeps you from buying duplicates of things you already own. A simple photo roll or folder in your phone becomes your own personal holiday decorating guide. Before packing decorations up, declutter anything you don't want or bring into next year. This is the perfect moment to get rid of broken ornaments, tired decor, or items you've outgrown. Do this now, not next November, because next November you'll be too busy and too overwhelmed to make good decisions. December 26th is calm enough to think clearly. And next year's storage bins feel so much lighter and more organized because of it. Now, I also spend a few minutes organizing our wrapping supplies. The leftover ribbon, the tags that didn't get used, the random pieces of paper that survived the season. I gather everything neatly into a wrapping bin so it's all ready to go next year. This tiny task saves so much frustration and it costs nothing. This way, I also know that what I need for next year and can grab it the day after Christmas to save that 70% off. One of my favorite reset tasks is starting a Christmas menu template for next year. Not a full menu, just a rough outline of what worked this year and what we want to repeat. It's a way to honor the traditions that matter while letting go of the ones that didn't serve us. Now, I have a Christmas planner that includes this inside it. I know it might be too late to use it this year, but it would be a fantastic way to get a jump on next year if you want to do it differently. I'll leave a link in the description below. And finally, I make a simple note in my phone. Something like, open December 1st, or next year, remember. And I write down all the things future me will be grateful to read. It's amazing how helpful a message from your past self can be when next December rolls around. Now, as I wrap up this little after Christmas routine, the theme that always sticks with me is that next December doesn't have to feel chaotic. It doesn't have to be rushed. It doesn't have to blow up your budget or leave you feeling like you're behind before the month even starts. A few intentional purchases now and a simple reset this week create a holiday season next year that feels calmer, more prepared, and far less expensive. This isn't about perfection or planning out every detail of 2026. It's about giving yourself a softer landing. It's about eliminating the panic moments and the last minute target runs and the "why didn't I think of this sooner" feeling. Future you deserves a holiday season that feels lighter, and the work you put in during this quiet week makes that possible. So tell me in the comments, what's the one thing that you're planning to do this week to make next Christmas easier? Maybe it's replacing something worn out. Maybe it's creating your own never again list, or maybe it starts that sinking fund with just $10. Whatever it is, share it, because your ideas always help this community so much. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.